Hey friends, I have so much planned for you guys today. Oh my goodness, I'm going to take you along with me as I do some homemaking and some housekeeping and also a little bit of baking and cooking. And it wouldn't be a Pine and Prospect home video unless I shared some good thrift finds with you guys. So I have some things to show you and style with you. It's just going to be a fun day. So I hope you'll stick with me. I've got some easy recipes to share, and I know we're going to have a lot of fun. So on this particular day, I was having some family over from out of town actually. And so I wanted to put together a nice breakfast for them. And I had to get the house cleaned. Probably one of the most frequently asked questions that I get, not only online, but also just in person when I bump into people who happen to follow me, which, by the way, will always be awkward for me no matter what. Probably one of the most common questions is, how do you keep your house so clean with 4 boys? I just can't even understand how you keep your house so clean. And honestly, guys, my house is not always clean. I try to tell people that, I want to be real with you. I'm not trying to pretend to be someone that I'm not. But our house is not always clean. It's not always perfect. The floors are covered in dust and dirt from my boys tracking it in. And so I just want to encourage you, the Bible tells us that it's not wise to compare ourselves to other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't kid yourself into thinking that the influencers or bloggers you see online have perfect homes all of the time, because we don't. That being said, if you were to stop by unannounced in my home, it would probably be pretty picked up for the most part. And I think that's the key to keeping a clean home, is really just to constantly be picking things up so that it's tidy. Don't let it go for so long. If you see something out, if it takes less than 5 minutes to put it away right then and there. And it will save you so much time in the long run. So real quick here, you can see I am putting together some cinnamon rolls. This is like a berry version though, and I love this recipe. I'll put it in the description for you guys if you want to check it out. I've made her normal, like classic cinnamon rolls. These are sourdough cinnamon rolls. I made the dough the night before, and so I thought it would be perfect for my guests. And basically, you, instead of doing like the cinnamon and the brown sugar on the inside, you're sprinkling white sugar, some flour, and some berries. So giving those a second rise here on the stovetop. And I also have some sourdough bread dough that I prepped the night before. Sometimes when my starter is just like so active and beautiful and bubbly, I'm like, I gotta use this right now. It's so perfect. So I threw together some bread dough as well. And I'm just going to get that ready. I'm not actually going to bake it today. I'm going to put it in my fridge and bake it another day. But I wanted to do my stretch and folds and just get that taken care of so that I could get it into the fridge. I have this recipe for the sourdough bread on my blog. If you're interested, you can go ahead and check it out. It's such an easy recipe if you're wanting to give sourdough a try. So one of the things we like to do every single morning in our home is make homemade kefir. I make about a quart every day, and when the kefir grains really start to multiply and get to be too many, you can just throw them in a little bag in the freezer, give them away to friends. Sometimes we even just dump them right into the smoothie and consume them that way. But you're just straining the grains. This is what they look like, almost like cauliflower is how I would describe it. But they just have so many good probiotics, and it's just a really good way to get those probiotics into my kids every day. And so I make the kefir homemade, saves us a lot of money. I've shown this to you before in previous videos, but I was making kefir smoothies today, and I just thought I would take you guys along with me. So for our family of 6, we usually do about a quart of homemade kefir. I usually throw in a couple bananas. Depending on how ripe they are, I will throw some honey in as well. Plain kefir is just like plain yogurt. It's just like a little bit sour. So just for a bit of sweetness, I like to add some honey, and then whatever fruit of choice, whatever you have on hand. I like to use frozen fruit. we usually are pretty stocked up, and then we just drink these every morning. My kids love them. Some days, it's a mango smoothie. That's my personal favorite. But like I said, it's just a great way to get some good probiotics into my kiddos. All right, guys, if you have been following me for a while here on YouTube, you know that I'm a very busy mom, and a lot of that is my own doing. I'll admit, I'm that type of personality. I will never get bored at home. I will always find things to do, whether it's decorating, organizing, feeding my family, baking, painting. I tend to keep myself busy, and sometimes when that happens, like on a day like today, for example, when I get busy doing things, sometimes, unfortunately, I don't prioritize my health, and I'm not eating the right things that I should be eating. I'm not giving my body the fuel that it needs. So I thought that it would be a great time to tell you guys about some personalized nutrition counseling that I am receiving through Nourish. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So Nourish is the easiest way to find a registered dietitian and get it covered by your insurance. Their registered dietitians provide personalized nutrition therapy to improve patients' health through sustainable behavior change. You'll receive evidence-based care in a flexible telehealth setting to create long-term and lasting improvements in your symptoms and overall relationship with food. Nourish dietitians specialize in a variety of health concerns, including weight management, eating disorders, gut health, and so much more. Nourish also accepts hundreds of insurance plans in all 50 states. In fact, 94% of Nourish patients pay $0 out of pocket. You can sign up for Nourish on their website, which can be done either on a phone or a laptop. Nourish also has an app that you can use to log your meals, and you can also message your dietitian. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my meeting with my dietitian. We met for the first time this morning. She was so sweet and so helpful, and she just kind of asked me some questions and wanted to know what my goals were for my health. Of course, I told her a lot about my issues with gluten, and I was able to kind of talk about some of the struggles I have with just getting the energy that I need from my food. She also kind of talked to me about the importance of hydration. She asked me questions about the vitamins that I was taking. So I guess it was just awesome to be able to talk to someone who could personalize a plan for me and help me reach my own health goals. If you want to talk about gut health or weight management or anything like that and have a personalized plan for you, I'd highly recommend you check out Nourish so that you can get online with a dietitian who's registered, who can work with you and your own health goals. You can go to usenourish.com/Pine and Prospect Home and sign up for your first appointment with Nourish today. So make sure you check them out. Again, all of the information will be in the description below, and I know you guys are gonna love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get my bread into my little Banneton basket here. And after I do that, I went ahead and did some breakfast dishes and just started to kind of tidy up the kitchen area. Now, the kitchen is something that I wanted to talk about briefly because I think that it's a room that I use the most. Honestly, I'm in the kitchen sometimes all day long. And so I think it's really important that every time you use your kitchen, you should just clean up immediately afterwards. And that is how I'm able to keep my kitchen so clean. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I not only wash the dishes, but I wipe down all the counters. I clean my stovetop, and that really helps me to keep it under control. Usually, when it comes to like our entryway and living area, I am pretty good about having the boys help to pick up their toys. If they got it out, they need to put it away. On this particular day, some of them were still doing homeschool at the moment, and some of them my little guys were playing together in the basement, and so it was just a few items that I needed to pick up, but you can see that it wasn't really a lot. And so when I go to actually clean my house, I'm not having to put a ton of stuff away or clear surfaces. I can simply just pick up a few things and then dust and go ahead and vacuum without feeling like it's this huge, overwhelming project to clean my house. And so it's just a tip I wanted to share for you, just to tidy up as you go. clean as you go. Don't let your house get out of control. Try to stay on top of things, and it'll make your life so much easier. Now, in this clip, you can see Ethan, his chore is to wipe down all of the glass. Our microfiber cloths make that so easy. He's just using a cloth and water. And so, giving your kids chores, I think, is so great. It's so good for them to get involved and to realize that if they were part of the mess, then they need to help clean it up. And since their little fingers are the ones all over those French doors, I think it's a good chore for my kids. So one of the easiest things that I like to make whenever I'm doing like a brunch or lunchtime type meal is breakfast potatoes in the oven. I used to always cook my potatoes on the stovetop, and I'm not against that, but I love just being able to throw them in the oven and not having to worry about them. They get crispy, they're delicious. I do garlic, onion powder, a little paprika, lots of salt, lots of pepper, olive oil, some parsley, and then I just stick them in a 400-degree oven. And usually once you smell them, they're done. I like to put them in for about 20-25 minutes until they're nice and golden and crispy. I'm throwing my cinnamon rolls in at this time. I don't think that's the technical name for them. I think they're like sweet berry rolls or something like that, but you guys know what I'm saying. I'm also going to get some asparagus out and roast that because we're doing like a brunch. So I'm going to cook up some eggs. Tell me if I'm the only one that is obsessed with asparagus and eggs. Oh my goodness, I love it when you break the yolk and you can like dip your asparagus in the egg yolk. I don't know if that's weird, but I love it. I actually love asparagus with hollandaise sauce too, but kind of along the same lines. I'm also going to go ahead and make my glaze for the cinnamon rolls. I keep calling them cinnamon rolls. It's got some butter, some milk, some lemon juice, some powdered sugar. Oh my goodness, guys. These were amazing. They were so good. You're going to have to try this recipe. Now, I don't typically like to clean on the same day that I'm having people over. I've talked about this before. I talk about it in my homemaking course. I think it's just too much on the host. It's a little too stressful. But this was just family, some sweet family, and the floors just desperately needed to be vacuumed. So I was able to do that quickly while the rolls and the potatoes were in the oven. And again, I'm just dusting as well, just kind of going over everything with my microfiber cloths that I love so much. I'll link those for you guys. They are just magic cloths that make cleaning so much easier. Now, another tip that I want to share with you guys when you're trying to show hospitality and open up your home, I think it's important to bake and prepare things that you have already made 1,000 times. Have food that you're very, very comfortable making. Items that aren't going to stress you out. You're not worried about messing it up because you're just so comfortable with it. I think that really helps to kind of put you at ease whenever you're hosting or having people over. And that way you can focus so much more on the company that you're having over rather than this fancy dish that you've never made before. It's stressing you out, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of showing hospitality, right? Because you're more focused on, kind of that Martha mentality rather than the most important thing. And so that's just a little tip that I've learned over the years, because believe me, I have made the mistake so many times of focusing far too much on the food and the home and making sure everything is perfect and just right. And then I kind of miss the whole point, and I'm not realizing that it's the people that matter most, not the food, not the perfect home. It's the people. And so I have learned that the hard way over the years. And after we had brunch together, my husband and dad actually went fishing with the boys because it was such a beautiful day. They all went fishing together, which was so sweet. I had to lay Isaiah down for a nap, so I stayed back with him, which is sometimes really nice to be able to have the house to myself. And I know the boys have so much fun. They love to go fishing with their grandpa, and the weather was so beautiful, so I'm glad they had the opportunity to do that. Now I'm just getting my bread into the refrigerator. Like I said, I don't normally do this, but my friend Lisa over at Farmhouse on Boone, she's like the queen of sourdough. I enjoy watching her channel, and she always puts her bread, in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna try that. My recipe doesn't actually call for that step, but I figured I didn't want to bake the bread today anyway, so I'm gonna give it a try. I'm also getting out some meat for dinner, so always thinking ahead. And I thought I would show you one of my first thrift store finds. So even after my company left, I still needed to vacuum the boys' bedrooms and some other rooms in the house that were just really bad. Here I am in one of their bedrooms, and look at this adorable teddy bear that I found recently at the thrift store. It was like $2, and the blue matches the blue in the room perfectly. I just thought it was adorable, and so I grabbed it, and I think it looks so cute in their room, and Isaiah loves it. I love the fact that it's like plaid, because they have all of these, buffalo check and plaid and gingham in their bedroom. So it was so cute. And then I grabbed a couple of new sun hats at Goodwill. They were $3.99 each, which is maybe a little bit high, but they were so darling. They each had this pretty bow. One had a black bow, and then the other one had like a cream bow on the back of it and a little opening for your ponytail. I'll probably end up using that one this summer, actually. But you guys know how much I love to decorate with sun hats in the spring and summer. Something about them just reminds me of gardening season and the beach and outdoors. And so I just think they're so pretty. And so when I find ones that I love, I just buy them and I put them around the house. So now this is my next thrift store find that I wanted to share with you guys. I got this awesome market bag, and the reason why the inside looks the way that it does is because the inside fabric was kind of dated and old, and so I was like, I want to cut this out. It was kind of faded and there were some holes in it. Well, I didn't realize that once I cut it out that the inside would look the way that it does, but it was like $3 or $4, and this is just going to be like a market bag. We have a farmer's market just down the street in the summertime, so I'm just going to hang it up back here. I thought it was so cute. I love it. For just a couple of bucks, it'll be perfect if we go and buy some fresh fruits and veggies at the market. And I don't know, I just thought it was really cute, so I thought I would share that with you guys as well. Now, the last find that I want to share with you guys is actually in the sunroom, and I don't know what to do with it. I tried it in my kitchen first, couldn't find a spot for it in my kitchen. Maybe it needs to go in like the mudroom area or in the basement somewhere. Maybe I shouldn't have bought it. I don't know. Sometimes it's not wise to purchase things if you really truly can't think of a spot where you'd put it. But I've also purchased things, thinking I have no idea where I'm going to put this, but I love this, and then I end up just finding a spot for it. So I don't know, maybe I'm the wrong person to take advice from, but here I am in the sunroom, and it's funny, I just put all the music away on the piano, which is so pointless. The boys practice every single day, but I put it away for you guys, okay? It's all for you guys. So you can see the pretty piano, and it's not covered in a bunch of music, and that little phone is sitting there because there's an app that my boys use, so they have to play these songs on the phone and whatever. Here's what I found at the thrift store, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So the original price on it was $45. What in the world? It's like this roll of paper that you can pull, and there's an extra roll that goes with it. And I think because of the original price, the lady, it didn't have a price on it. I asked her how much it was at this thrift store, and she was like, well, it was originally $45, which I hate that, don't you, when the original price is on there. So she said, how about $14? And I feel like that's so high for a thrift store price. Can you guys believe that I bought that? But it's so cute. I just need to find a place for it. Like, it'll be a great place to write things down. So I think it makes the most sense in the kitchen, but maybe it would make sense in the mudroom or the basement, or maybe I just wasted $14. You guys tell me what you think, what you would do with that. Let me end with a really easy recipe for you guys. Okay, you just take 6 chicken breasts. Now I doubled this recipe. And then you take like roughly a cup of mayo or Greek yogurt. I eyeball everything. Roughly a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, about a teaspoon or so of garlic powder, teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and lots of salt, pepper. Put that chicken in the oven until it's finished and the Parmesan is crispy. It's the easiest, most delicious meal. We served it with rice and Brussels sprouts, and I know you guys are gonna love it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I love it when you stop by and come along with me. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.